All right, Shalom. Before I get started, I want to give all glory, honor, and praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Makar HaKodesh. Double honors to the apostles and elders at GMS. Peace, honor, and respect to you brothers that's out there laboring, edifying, rally, divine the word in truth and sincerity. And Shalom to you believers out there, the Aki and Wa Akwatim. So yeah, just real quick, all right, because I want to get this.
Putin and China just did the unthinkable, and the West is in big trouble. You have to ask yourself, are Russia and China serious about this? The answer is yes. The alliance between Russia and China is awesome. And when I say awesome, I don't mean it in the Jeff Spicoli Fast Times at Ridgemont High awesome kind of way.
Awesome! Totally awesome!
I mean awesome in a dramatic shift of the entire world economic order kind of way. What happened this week is absolutely groundbreaking and was probably the biggest story of the last 30 years, but it hardly got any news coverage at all. Does that surprise any of you? Seriously, one of the most important stories of our lifetime happened this week, and almost no one covered it. So what happened? While the United States was busy focused on January 6th hearings and whether or not Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez was wearing fake handcuffs during her arrest last week, Russia joined forces with China to create their own new reserve currency. Officially. Yes, it's happening, guys. Just let that sink in for a moment. Let that wash over you. Let me explain what this means. This means that the new reserve currency won't be the US dollar, for one thing, which is earth-shattering, right? But it's also earth-shattering for another few reasons. This new currency will be based on rare earth minerals, guys. I've been saying this for a while, and that's why I'm personally investing in them, okay? Russia and China are moving their currency to gold, silver, uranium, nickel, copper, real tangible things, guys. This means that
Real tangible things, and this is what they're doing. The alliance of China and Russia is stronger, and actually, you have the BRICS nations, what it's called. That's the adverse of NATO, EU, of NATO. So BRICS, and I believe they're adding more countries to the BRICS nations. All right, I believe Iran might be thrown in there, and Argentina. Okay, so this is what you got going on, and this was 2 days ago. All right, so they're coming because they want to they don't want to deal with the dollar. All right, and see matter of fact, let me go to it, because when you go to Amos 5 and 19, it says, as if a man did flee from a lion. Okay, and that lion is basically talking about, Israel, but it can be as well talking about the Arab nations. And a bear met him, and that bear is talking about who? Russia. Okay, or went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall, and the serpent bit him. And when you go into that serpent, it's basically China, the dragon. Okay, because the dragon could be basically the dragon could be a serpent. It is a serpent. Okay, it's a bigger serpent. All right, it could be referred to as a serpent. Matter of fact, let's get some to back it up. When you go to Isaiah 27, okay, and 1, it says, in that day the Lord with his sword and great and strong sword shall punish Leviathan, the piercing serpent, even Leviathan, that crooked serpent, and he shall slay the dragon that is in the sea. Okay, and when you go into, let's look up dragon. All right, when you look up dragon, it says what? Dragon, serpent, sea monster, dragon, or dinosaur. All right, when you go to letter C, it says serpent, venomous snake. Okay, even if you go to, just for more edification, when you go to Revelation 20. All right, verse 1. And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand. Okay, this is talking about Yahushua. And he laid hold on that dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years. Now, this is going into, just for edification, this is going into that the Dark Ages. All right, when we came into power in Europe. Okay, because Europe is that bottomless pit. All right, that's another lesson for another day. But this is what it's going into. And when you look up dragon again, it says what? A dragon, a great serpent, a name for Satan. All right, and that's talking about Esau, Edom. That's not talking about the spiritual being Satan. All right, so back in we was in Amos. Back in Amos 5, okay, in 19, as if a man did flee from a lion, and a bear met him, okay, Russia, and went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall, and the serpent bit him, and that's talking about China, okay, all right, and this is what's going on. China, and Russia, they are in cahoots. All right, I got another video. If you want to check that out, that's on this whole video, because he go into it. It's on redacted. All right, here you go, right here. All right, so y'all can get that redacted. And then when you go to now,
have you or a family member been
Nancy
diagnosed
Pelosi
with a
want to
serious
take a
health
trip
issue
over there,
after living or
to Taiwan. All right, but what do this title read? Gravitas. Will China shoot down Nancy Pelosi plane? All right, because China has threatened the U.S. if Nancy Pelosi go over there, they're gonna use strong measures to stop that from happening. All right, and that's basically just in theoretics. Just say if this did happen, this is World War III. Okay, this would be World War III. All right, because if they shoot her plane down, okay, that's an act of war. All right. China just basically declared war on the United States. And then now you got NATO, the EU, you got NATO going in there, and then you're going to have BRICS going there. And that's how it's going, even though biblical prophecy, the MOTB supposed to come first. Okay. But that's just theoretical. If that was to happen, okay, that would bring on World War III. All right, let's listen a little bit.
Now to another conflict, the one over Taiwan. The island claims independence. Beijing said. Now to another conflict, the one over Taiwan. The island claims independence. Beijing says it's a part of China. Enter America. Their House Speaker Nancy Pelosi wants to visit Taiwan. China does not like the idea, neither does US President Joe Biden, but Pelosi wants to go anyway. So China has issued a threat. It says it is willing to use its army to stop Nancy Pelosi from going to Taiwan.
Recently, China has made it clear to the US on many occasions that it is firmly opposed to Speaker Pelosi's visit to Taiwan. We are fully prepared. If the US insists on going its own way, China will certainly take firm and forceful measures. If the US insists on going its own way, China will take strong measures to respond and counteract resolutely.
Taiwan is taking China's vows of retaliation seriously. It has
So, if you want to see this video in its entirety, here go up, Gravitas. It say, Wyon, I believe, but will China shoot down Nancy Pelosi plane? All right, and this is, this is China. They know they backed up with BRICS too. So, they know they wouldn't be going to war alone. China and Russia is ready for the smoke, basically. Okay? This is why China is making them type of threats. Like, don't let her come over here, because, China want to invade Taiwan, basically. Okay? They want to do basically what Russia did in Ukraine. So if the U.S. come over there, basically, it's going to be like, like, no, you don't need to be melling around where we thinking about going. All right? What y'all doing, though? Why y'all want to come over there? And Nancy Pelosi is a high-ranking member. Okay, so it's not, just sending anybody. You sending a high-ranking member. Okay? So they going to take it like, oh, okay, you going to send her. Okay. No, yeah, go ahead. And we gonna shoot that boy down or whatever it is they going to do. But anything that they do will basically be an act of war. All right, it's another video that I want to get to. Bear with me 1 second. It was on this. Wait. Just bear with me 1 second, because I had it. Oh, man. Oh, they put out a lot of material in the last couple hours, so I might have to scroll down. I don't want to miss it. Nope. Just bear with me 1 second as I find this vid, because this is going into Joe Biden and that deal where Joe, dang, let me see. I might have a video on my phone. I might have it. All right, hold on. I think I recorded it. All right, so I recorded a lot of things so I can do lessons on. Man, I hope I got it. All right, I might. Nine. Oh, man. All right, let me see if I can find it. Because I've been recording stuff to do lessons on. It's somewhere up in here. I think I might have passed it. Let me see. Let me see if it's on my other phone and I can just get the title. All right, just hold on. I'm coming. But it's another video that I wanted to prove a point on with, you got China, you got Russia, and this lady on Gravitas, she was making a point. All right. Let me see if I still got it. Yep. So, okay. Let me type this in. It's on one of these. I don't think that. Let me see. It's about that $40 billion. Let me see if it's this one.
Introducing Vocal Image.
Oh, yep.
The smart AI-based voice training app.
All right. So
as long as their economies were not being punished. But once the crisis hit home, their attitude changed. Putin was counting on this when he invaded Ukraine, and from the looks of it, Russian energy. His comments in Tehran have triggered speculation. Putin did not threaten a complete shutdown.
All right, so you see the title where it says, how many days ago? This was 6 days ago, okay? And it says, Putin big win against the U.S. Iran, Russia strike $40 billion energy deal. Iran and Russia, okay? When you go to, matter of fact, when you go to Ezekiel 38 chapter, all right, what do it say? It says, verse 3, and say, thus saith the Lord, power, behold, I am against thee, O God, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws. Okay, that's going into like bringing them back into that Soviet Union, that USSR mode. Okay, and I will bring thee forth and all thy army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. Persia, all right, and when you go to Persia, that's talking about them Iranians, okay, because Persia changed their name to Iran, I believe, in the 1930s, okay, like 1935. Ethiopia and Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmets. All right. And so Gomar and all his bands, the house of Togomar of the north quarters and all his bands and many people with thee, be thou prepared and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. And see, Iran, I believe, is going to be a part of the BRICS nation. See? That's when you're talking about Persia. Matter of fact, when you watch this, just for edification's sake. Yep. See? Persia, Iran now. See? For most of history, the tract of land now called Iran was known as Persia. See? It was until 1935 that it adopted its present name. See, that's Persian. That goes all into that Achaemenid Empire, if I'm saying it correctly. All right. So the scriptures, you see what I'm saying? And then what do we have here? You have Iran and Russia, okay, striking a $40 billion. And then listen to what she gonna say. Okay, let me find that.
At a reduction in supply. Listen to this.
Let me find that part.
Now 2 turbines are working, pumping 60 million cubic meters of gas a day. If one turbine comes, very well. There will be 2 turbines working. If it doesn't come, only one will be working. There will be only 30 million cubic meters a day. One should count how much.
About Erdogan. The Turkish president is not backing down. He wants both Iran and Russia to support his offensive in Syria. Now listen to this carefully.
Okay,
it's
here we go.
Axis, a new power center which makes...
Thankful for this, but words alone, inactive, irresponsible, as this terrorist organization continues its separatist agenda. I hear from you, my dear friends, that you understand Turkey's legitimate security concerns. I am thankful for this, but words alone are not a cure for wounds.
Now listen to what she gonna say.
Erdogan is talking about Turkey's legitimate concerns. Iran and Russia are also united in their concerns. They're creating a new axis, a new power center, which makes the chessboard in West Asia very interesting. Now listen to this carefully. Israel and Saudi Arabia are coming closer, but Israel and Iran are sworn enemies. Saudi Arabia and Iran have been enemies, but they're beginning to talk. Russia and Saudi Arabia are partners. And now Russia and Iran are also partners. It's like those logical reasoning questions you get in exams, and this is West Asia for you. Now, Iran is backing Russia and Ukraine. Saudi Arabia, too, is backing Russia. The Saudi foreign minister has spoken out. He has said that Russia is, quote-unquote, an integral part of OPEC+. That's the global alliance of major oil exporters, OPEC+. Riyadh says that without Russia, it would be impossible to ensure a steady oil supply. Where does that leave the US? Isolated, at least in this region. Biden wanted to make Putin a pariah, but in this part of the world, he seems to have lost both Saudi Arabia and Iran. Putin has won this round.
See, isolated. And as you can see how she was going into those other nations, man. Okay. As you can see, she was going into those other nations, you know, making ties, cutting America out, basically. Okay, because she said, like, Israel and Saudi Arabia coming closer. Iran and Israel is enemies, but Saudi and Iran had been enemies, but starting to talk. And then you got Russia and Saudi Arabia as partners, Russia and Iran as partners. See, she was going into that, letting you know, hey, and see, the sanctions that Joe Biden put on Russia is hurting us, but it's really hurting them Europeans, okay? And see, just speaking, this is one of the causes because of what America, how they play the game. This is why even where you have Revelation 17, okay, that's going to come into play. Where, you know, them 10 horns, matter of fact, let's get it. All right. Let's get it. Let's get it. This is where all that, because we already know that all of the rest of these nations that are allies to the U.S., they're going to turn on the U.S. Hold on, bear with me for 1 second. Oh, I think it's wrong. Okay, hold on, give me 1 second. I gotta get something real fast for somebody. All right, so we already know that, you know, so, okay, here we go. Revelation 6:17-16. Okay, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. Okay, and that's them fires, them ICBM missiles, man. And see, them 10 horns is the EU turning on America, man. See? And who is really suffering from the sanctions? Europe. All right. And as you can see, these other nations is coming together, which is isolating the U.S. and it's going to put a hurting on U.S., but as well as EU. Okay. And that's why they going at some point, they're going to be like, man, F them, F the U.S., man. We done. You see what I'm saying? So now this is the, I'm going to get this because this one's going to be long. When you go to Jeremiah 50. All right. And see, this is, you know, hey, Russia is going to be a guardian to Iran and a lot of these, you know, it said Ethiopia, Libya, and you got South Africa that's a part of BRICS. That's the S, South Africa. Okay. You got India, which is the I. You got China, the C. Okay, BRICS is Brazil. Okay, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. That's BRICS. Okay, but you got Iran that's trying to get in there, and Argentina. Okay, which the tribes is in Brazil and Argentina. Okay, but you're gonna have other nations. You know, that's a lot. You know, you got Saudi Arabia. Then you're going to have EU turn. So this, man, Jeremiah 50 and verse 9. And it says, for lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon, an assembly of great nations from the north country. Okay. And what's that north country? That's talking about Russia, man. And Babylon is speaking about America. Okay. Continuing on. And they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence she shall be taken, and their arrow shall be as of a mighty expert man. All right. Because the Spirit of the Lord, you know, is going to be on them missiles, man. Them arrows. None shall return in vain. Okay. Those missiles, you know, they're not going to break rank. Okay. I think this further down in this chapter. Yep. So, you know, that's it. I just wanted to bring that out, you know. But you see how Russia, China, Iran, BRICS, they in league, man. And eventually, you know, because World War III is inevitable, man. It's because why? It's biblical prophecy. You know, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, you know, is wrote, you know, the scriptures. What do the scriptures say? Declaring the ending in the beginning, man. So this was already scripted and meant to happen before the foundation of the earth, okay, was even made.